Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about 12 best quiet luxury bags. Now, quiet luxury has been the most trending trend in the luxury fashion all over social media, so I probably don't even need to go over what it means. A lot of creators have done videos on the topic. As you guys may already know, if you have been watching my videos for a while, you guys know where I stand in terms of quiet luxury. I am somewhere in the middle where I do sometimes like some logos, but I don't like to overdo it, and I do generally quite like the idea of quiet or subtle luxury, logoless luxury, if you know sort of luxury. So in my opinion, it's not really a trend at all. It has been a lot of people's personal preference for a long time. I think it is a timeless concept, but since it is the trending thing, I thought I'd do a video about the bags I think that are the best quiet luxury bags, and I've included the bags that I have personally had at least some kind of encounter with. So I either own these bags or I have really considered these bags and checked them out in stores up close myself. So without further ado, let's get started with bag number one. My first pick is the gorgeous Hermès Mini Roulis bag. This bag comes in two different sizes. Mine is in the smaller mini size, but it also comes in the size 23, which is slightly larger. Many of you would agree that this is the subtle sister of the ever so iconic Hermès Constance bag, which looks pretty much the same as this Roulis bag, but with a big H buckle at the front. But other than that, the Constance bag looks quite similar to the Roulis bag. It is a leather flap strap bag. So I would consider this Roulis bag as still very iconically designed because it looks so similar to the iconic Constance bag, but without the big loud H logo. But instead we have this very subtle Hermès Chandon metalwork at the front. Someone who is familiar with luxury bags and Hermès in particular will instantly recognize this as a quintessential Hermès element, but to someone who is not really into luxury, they won't necessarily recognize this as a high-end luxury bag. For that reason, I absolutely love taking this on my holidays. It does have a pretty good capacity. It's very versatile day to evening bag. So especially when I'm traveling, I do love the versatility about it. This one bag can do day casual outfits as well as slightly more dressed up evening outfits. And when you're out and about, it does not scream designer. So I do love that this bag goes under the radar most of the time. It comes in an array of beautiful colors. My particular one is in the color gold with permabrush hardware, which is their light gold hardware, in the Evercolor leather, which is one of my favorite leathers from Hermès. It is a very minimally grained leather, so it is still supple and soft, but still quite scratch resistant. So I would rate this any day as my favorite quiet luxury bag. Bag number two, let's get the Hermès bags out of the way because let's face it, a lot of Hermès bags are not quite luxury anymore, but they do still have a lot of bag designs that are impeccably made with their unparalleled craftsmanship that are still quite subtle and understated. And my pick is the Hermès Mini Evelyn. Now, a lot of people would be more familiar with the Evelyn bag face this side because of the H perforation there, but apparently the actual front of the bag is the other side. So the perforated H side is actually the back of the bag. So when you wear it this way, it is a very, very understated bag. All you see is a beautiful leather bag that is beautifully crafted, and there is just one very simple snap button and it is unlined. It's a very casual, easygoing bag. But if you do so choose to want to show a little bit of logo, you can always wear it the other way, which is what I love about this bag. You can wear it either logoed or you can wear it in the quiet luxury way. I have to be honest, I haven't been using this bag a whole lot because it is a little too casual for my general aesthetics. So I have talked about this in the past videos where I have really contemplated letting this bag go. But you guys, you know what? Some of you reached out to me and said, now that I'm expecting my first baby, when I'm a mummy, maybe this will be a great grab and go bag. I can have all the bulky items in my nappy bag and just carry this as a casual bag, crossbody, very lightweight, and just keep my essentials and valuables in here, such as my phone and some credit cards and a lip gloss or whatever items that I need to get easy access to. So I have held on to this bag and I am so glad that I listened to some of you guys. So So I cannot wait to start using this more. And again, this Evelyn bag comes in a few different sizes. Mine is in the mini size, so TPM they call it. But if you're someone who needs to carry more things with you, it also comes in the PM and the GM sizes. They are much larger bags with much larger capacity. So there's definitely something for everyone. And it also comes in all the beautiful Hermès colors. Again, I picked mine in the gold color with that beautiful contrast stitching. And this leather is in the Clemence leather, which is another grained leather from Hermès, but the grains are much bigger than the grains on the Evercolor leather that I showed you on my Roulis just then. And I just like to make an honorable mention. I don't have this bag in my collection, but one of my good friends on Instagram just scored this bag from the Hermès boutique here in Sydney, and it is the mini Lindy bag. I think it is the most adorable bag. It is a little more of a substantial bag than the mini Evelyn. Also, if you like the security of being able to zip the bag all the way around and keep everything completely secure, the mini Lindy is another great quiet luxury bag because it doesn't have any visible logos, but by its unique design, those people who know luxury would recognize it as a high-end designer bag, but for an average person, it won't even stand out to be anything to do with a designer. So the mini Lindy is another great quiet luxury bag in my opinion. The only thing is the mini Lindy is very popular and it is very hard to get from the store these days. So you either need to be patient and have a sales associate get one for you, which may take a long time, or you might need to pay a little premium on the resale market to get one of those bags, especially in the neutral or more popular colors. The mini Lindy is very hard to come by, but if you can come by one, I think it is another great bag. Next, let's move on to some Bottega Veneta bags. Bottega is one of those brands that never has big logos plastered across their bags or anything really, but their designs are always recognizable by this iconic weaved leather. They call it the intrecciato leather. My particular bag is the mini pouch bag, but Bottega has so many different types of ranges of bags that would pass as quiet luxury. Some of them have this smaller weaving, some of them have the larger weaving with the bigger leather strap pieces. Now, I have had this mini pouch bag for a couple of years now, and it is definitely my go-to when it comes to those occasions that I don't want to wear a logoed bag, especially in this color. This is basically nude color for my skin tone. I think this sort of a very neutral nudie color works really well, makes the bag even more subtle as opposed to if you went with this kind of a bag, but in a pop of color. I do also have a mini Jodie bag in this pop of bright yellow color. This I still would consider quite luxury, but because of this bright color, it will definitely draw more attention. But I absolutely love this with some of my summery outfits and all that. But if you strictly want something that is really subtle luxury, I think going for a beautiful neutral color like this is a great option. And from my experience, Bottega quality is always amazing. My mom actually has a Bottega pouch bag, not like this, but in a wallet style that she has had for many years, even before Bottega was trending on social media much. And I can tell you that bag has worn beautifully. I do have that first-hand experience with how luxuriously these Bottega leathers wear, and I think that is a pinnacle of quiet luxury. The quality has to be there. It can't just be a designer price tag bag with sort of questionable quality, which is why I didn't include any of those bags that have had some controversy around their quality. But Bottega, I would definitely rate them as timeless, quiet luxury. Next up, let's talk about something a little more fun. I want to include the Jimmy Choo mini Bonbon bag onto this list. From the first glance, these Bonbon bags just look like another little bucket bag. This particular one was my wedding bag, which is why I went for the more glitzy gold version. But this also comes in so many different finishes. I do have to rate this mini Bonbon bag is one of the quiet luxury bags because obviously it doesn't have any logos or branding. Also, Jimmy Choo is more known for their shoes, so more people will be familiar with Jimmy Choo shoes, but I find that their bags are not as mainstream at the moment, so you wouldn't see this everywhere. But I definitely have been impressed by their quality in their bags as well, so I believe Jimmy Choo bags will slowly gain popularity. And because their bags are not so mainstream at the moment, the price tags are so friendly as well. I mean, they are still not cheap by any means, But when you compare the price of these Bonbon bags to some of the other bucket bag options in the designer bag market, the price of this bag is relatively affordable still. I've used this quite a few times on nights out for fancy dinners or whenever I'm a little more dressed up, and it has been working really wonderfully. I love this top handle. The metal finish is so shiny and beautiful, and it also comes with a shorter strap as well, so you do have the option of being hands-free on the night, or you can just tuck it in and carry it as a really cute handheld evening bag. So this had to make it to my list. Next up is the Mulberry Mini Alexa bag. Mulberry bags in general have this really substantial leather to them, and their price points are generally slightly lower than the price points of the big names like Louis Vuitton and Chanel, but the quality I found to be really quite good. A lot of their designs are quite subtle, and the Alexa line is no exception. The only branding that this bag has is this tiny little Mulberry engraving on that metal plate at the front, at the clasp of this bag, and it's so small you can't really see it. Again, this is a unique design to Mulberry, and if you're into luxury bags, you will instantly recognize this as a Mulberry Alexa bag, but otherwise it just looks like a really cute satchel bag. It comes in a larger size as well, but again, because I don't carry a lot of things with me, I've decided on the mini size. But you'll be surprised how much you can fit into this mini size. Now again, if you watched some of my previous videos, you guys may know my little niggles and frustration with this bag, with the closing and the opening. This is not a review video or anything, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but you guys know that I have considered selling this bag, but it is still in my collection because guess what guys, in the last couple of months, on those days that I just wanted to carry a really cute looking casual bag that looks understated, that does not scream designer, because you know, some places you just don't want to take really obvious designer bags to, and on those days that it might be raining or whatnot, this bag is the perfect bag for those occasions because one, the price point is so reasonable that I don't have to baby this bag too much, and two, it is so quiet. It is such a luxury, so it still gives me that satisfaction of using a very nicely made bag. But for those occasions that I don't want to show off a designer bag, it has been so great, and the design is so cute. And even though it is a mini bag, like I said, it's got a larger capacity, so if I want to carry a little more with me than just a card holder and a phone, this is a great size. I mean, how many mini bags are really cute but at the same time has a good capacity? Not many. So this bag has stayed in my collection, even though I do still find the opening and the closing a little bit annoying, but I have been dealing with it because I weirdly have been reaching for this bag quite a bit lately. Next, I'd like to talk about some Louis Vuitton bags, particularly in the Epi Leather line. So this particular bag is an Alma BB from Louis Vuitton in this beautiful coquelicot color, which means poppy red, with the tiniest little LV embossing on the side of the bag there. So this is just one example, but I would consider Louis Vuitton's Epi Leather bags very subtle. I mean, there are some Epi Leather bags that have the big chunky LV logo, like the twist bag, which I think that design was born in that era where logo mania was still a big thing, and I think that that bag is so modern and chic, but it is definitely not quite luxury. It is really in your face with the big LV logo right in the middle of the bag, but most of their bags in the Epi Leather version don't have any big logos. So again, this bag being in a pop of color, it may draw a bit more attention, and it's not quite that quiet luxury aesthetics, that neutral chic soft look, but the Epi Leather comes in an array of beautiful neutral colors, and I think that they make for really great quiet luxury bags. In general, I find Louis Vuitton bags are a little more logo heavy. For example, their iconic monogram bags, the LV logos are all over the canvas. Even with a lot of their leather lines, like the Empreinte leather or even the Mahina leather, which is more premium leather line, you do see the monogramming all over the leather surface, whereas the Epi Leather, they made it really subtle, and it just whispers luxury. Next up, I wanted to talk talk about my kind of cool girl bag, which is the Alexander McQueen The Curve bag. I feel that this bag is really gaining its momentum in its popularity. It is not one of your typical designer bags that you think of. I personally first came across this bag on a Korean drama called Hometown Cha-Cha. If you guys watched my unboxing of this video, you know that the main character from the drama really inspired me and influenced me to get this bag. So it was slightly an impulse purchase, but what I really love about this bag is its unique design. You don't see anything like this anywhere else. The leather is beautiful. The details are executed really nicely. It is one of those bags that, again, only Alexander McQueen has this sort of a design. You know, there are the classic looking designs that are not so unique, and every single designer has their own take of that sort of a design, like a flat bag or a bucket bag, whereas this kind of a unique design you don't see anywhere else but from this designer. And again, the branding is very, very minimal. It just says Alexander McQueen there, and there is an embossing of their emblem at the back there. So I really love this bag as a more edgy looking quiet luxury bag. Next up is the Aspinal of London bags. Their bags have become quite popular in my opinion after being seen a number of times on Kate Middleton, Duchess of Cambridge. Even though they're pretty well known and become quite popular, I still think that it is one of those brands that are not recognized by the majority of people, and most of their designs are only recognizable by the design themselves and the vibe that the bags give off, but they don't have big logos anywhere. I've got an Aspinal of London, well, not on chain style. It only has a tiny little branding at the front clasp there, and at the back it's just got that tiny little embossing in the gold in the croc embossed leather. But other than that, it is a very subtle looking design. I love using this for those evenings out where I don't want to carry a very recognizable designer bag, but rather I want to wear something that looks elegant, that doesn't scream any particular designer, but looks really well made and high quality. I reach for this bag. I also love that top handle bags. They do come in a couple of different sizes. I think that they look so elegant. I believe most of their styles come in this croc embossed leather, and croc embossed leather can look a little tacky if not done right, but I always find the Aspinal of London croc embossed leathers to look really elegant and well executed. So another brand that I absolutely recommend if you are into quiet luxury. Now, the next 4 bags are not in my collection personally, but these are all the styles that I have seriously considered, and I'm still really open to adding some of these bags to my collection in the future. So the next bag I want to talk about is the Fendi Peekaboo bag. The Peekaboo is probably Fendi's most iconic bag. They do have the classic line as well as seasonal takes on this design. Fendi is one of those brands that do really logo heavy pieces as well as really subtle logoless pieces such as the Peekaboo. So with their very loud pieces, they have their bags with the full Zucca print that says FF everywhere, and then they do these beautiful quiet luxury bags like the Peekaboo, just in the most beautiful leather with the most minimal branding on the little clasp there that just says Fendi. And I find the Fendi Peekaboo design quite elegant. It's a very ladylike handheld bag, but all of them I believe come with a shoulder strap as well, so the practicality is definitely there. From the many times that I've checked out Fendi bags, their leather quality is always very nice, and in a smaller bag, it is one of those bags that will transition beautifully from day to evening. So it is one that I haven't bought yet, but it's been on my radar for the longest time. Next up is the Delveaux Brilliant bag range. Delveaux is a brand based in Belgium, and apparently this bag has been designed back in 1958, so it has definitely stood the test of time, and it was inspired by the iconic Philips Pavilion during the World Expo in Brussels back in 1958. I think it has a very timeless, elegant, but again unique design, and it basically has no branding whatsoever. So if you know this bag, you know this bag. It does have that very old money aesthetics, and I don't like labeling things old or new money. I think that it is very elitist and exclusive. I don't like that, but when I see this bag, it just looks that timeless and elegant. Now, we don't actually have a Delveaux boutique here in Sydney, but it is quite popular in Korea. So when I watch Korean YouTubers, I often spot this Delveaux bag, and I've always wondered, oh, what is this bag, until I found out what it was. So because it is not something that I can easily check out here in Sydney, I have seen this bag when I went to Korea. I really loved it, but I guess it is a rather dressy bag. I think maybe when I'm slightly older, it is something that I would really consider, but at the moment it is a bag that I haven't purchased yet. But yeah, this Delveaux top handle bag has elegance and quite luxury written all over it. Next up is the Moynat Gabrielle bag. Apparently, these Moynat bags are made exactly like the Hermès Kelly bags. As you can see from the design, it has a very similar structure to the Hermès Kelly bag, which we are probably a lot more familiar with. I am definitely more familiar with the Hermès Kelly bag, but from my research, this Moynat Gabrielle bag has the same impeccable quality as the Kelly bag at like half the price. The leather quality is really there. It is a handmade bag, so basically you get everything that you get in a Kelly bag, but without being very recognizable as an Hermès bag. Even though the Kelly bag doesn't actually have heavy branding anywhere or logos anywhere, it is one of those bags that have been seen so many times that I think a lot of people now recognize that bag as an iconic Hermès bag. Whereas the Moynat bag, I feel, is still a little bit more niche, so it is definitely a more subtle design. We probably all recognize it as a high-end bag because we're into luxury bags, but for the general population, it is still something that is a lot more subtle than the Hermès Kelly bag. When I was in Paris last year, I did go into the Moynat boutique and had personal experience with their fine craftsmanship. I especially love that mini size that looks a little bit like the Kelly pochette because it does have that evening appropriate look, but it also comes with a shoulder strap, which the Kelly pochette doesn't come with. So I think that will be a really practical mini bag option. Their leathers are beautiful. They do have that M metalwork at the front at the clasp, which one can argue that it is a little bit of branding, but it could also look a little bit like a nice arty shape. In my opinion, the larger sizes in the Gabrielle bag look a little too serious for my aesthetics and where I am in my life at the moment. But again, it is something that I would seriously consider once my style matures a little bit more. So yeah, next time I'm in Paris, I can't wait to check them out again. And similar to the Delveaux and the Moynat top handle bags, there's another bag that I absolutely love that I think is very suitable as a quiet luxury bag, and that is the Valextra Iside bag. Is that how you say it? But it is their iconic top handle bag. This bag exudes elegance again without any obvious branding. It's got a very similar structure to, I'd say, the Moynat Gabrielle bag, in that it is a top handle bag with a flap, and it also comes with a shoulder strap. And what I love about this bag is that it comes in so many beautiful colors, and I believe it comes in 3 different sizes. So they call the mini one micro, but it's not like a micro bag that you and I think of, like a nano bag. When I check the dimensions, it will be big enough to fit a phone and everything, so it's more like a mini bag size that we're familiar with. And then they have like a small and a medium size. I find that rectangular clasp at the front really elegant but geometric at the same time, so it does add a little modern twist to the bag. But I'd say compared to the Delveaux and the Moynat bags, this bag probably looks the most formal, so it is something that probably won't suit my lifestyle as much because I don't really carry really exclusively formal bags in my lifestyle at the moment. But it is another one that whispers luxury, and it looks so timeless and beautiful. Now, I know there are tons of other brands like the Row that are really popular and known for their quite luxury aesthetic. If you have experience with some of the other brands or other styles that you think are beautiful, subtle luxury bags, do share them in the comments below. I haven't had any personal experience with some of those other bags, which is why I haven't included those in my list. I always love hearing from you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. It really greatly helps my channel out. I'd really appreciate that. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending some of your precious time with me today, and I can't wait to see you again soon in my next video. Bye guys.